Good evening and welcome to Matters of Faith, our weekly mirror to different faiths, attempting to understand their real nature. Scientific inquiry and mathematical logic have still not been able to explain our place in the universe. It is faith, perhaps, that can bridge this gap between the known and the dark, vast unknown. In the Pilgrim's Progress section tonight, we visit the sacred Sarovar at Pushkar, created by a lotus that fell from the heavens, from the hands of the supreme creator, Brahma. Pushkar, the pilgrim paradise, where faith manifests itself in 100,000 ways.
Rajasthani hearts have always overflowed with love for the Almighty. Pushkar in Rajasthan has since ancient times been amongst the most revered holy spots for the Hindus. The small township with its sacred lake, the Pushkar Sarovar, is situated near Ajmer. Just 11 kilometers up the beautiful, quiet road on the Nag Pahad, Snake Mountain, enveloped between low ranges of these mountains, lies this ancient lake. The waters of this holy lake, believed to be as old as time itself, sprung from the heart of Mother Earth at the sublime touch of the divine lotus that fell from the heavens from the hands of the Lord of creation, Brahma. Holy ghats lead up from the waters to the temples above. Temples of various architectural styles lie scattered across this holy land. The South Indian Ranganathan temple, with its gold pillar and ornate dome,
Getting the clouds moving.
Temples dedicated to the goddess of knowledge Saraswati, the ever-benevolent Ganesh, to Pavan Putra Hanuman are all to be found here. But the temple that all pilgrims must visit is reached by ascending a flight of marble steps. The temple of the creator of this universe, the source of life and energy, Lord Brahma. Flanking the Jagatpita Sri Brahma temple, on top of two hills, are the temples of Brahma's wife Savitri and second wife Gayatri, both revered in equal measure. Around the Brahma temple and Sarovar has sprung up a whole living town, which sees the influx of devotees and tourists all year round, growing in numbers with each passing year. Yet Pushkar is not a state township meant only for serious contemplation. The young visitors find plenty to interest them as they are initiated into the faith by the elders. A favorite spot where everyone must go to is the ghats. There are 52 of these ghats that line the lakefront. Waters of each of these ghats are believed to have special powers. Naga Kund grants fertility, Roop Tirth enhances beauty, Kapil Vyapi Kund cures leprosy, and Mrikand Muni Kund grants wisdom. Bathing in the ghats is also believed to purify the soul, washing away sins and ensuring a place in heaven. The immersion of ashes after cremation in these waters ensures safe and sure passage to heaven. Ramachandraji, the revered Hindu god, is believed to have immersed his father, Raja Dashrath's ashes in the sacred waters of Pushkar Lake. Parikrama, walking barefoot around the lake, is an elevating experience, creating a Pushkar inside you.
The Hindu pantheon includes all living forms, and worship takes on myriad forms. Wind, water, plants, and the sun are all objects of worship. But a temple where living rats reign, where they are nursed and pampered with hearth, heart, and food, almost seems to cross the realms of credibility. Deshnuk in Rajasthan is the site of this unusual temple.
From the monkey god Hanuman to Shiva's beloved Nandi bull, the Hindu pantheon holds in reverence an amazingly wide range of living forms and elements. To hold the cow as sacred is one thing, but to see living rats having the run of a full temple, one has to visit a popular temple in Rajasthan. Deshnuk village in Rajasthan is the site of the revered Mata Karni temple, a deity held in great reverence in the adjoining areas of Jodhpur and Bikaner. Mata Karni, believed to be the earthly reincarnation of Mata Durga, lived here 500 years ago. Karni Mata is believed to have come down to earth to end the oppression of the weak. This Durga reincarnate is believed to have lived here for over a century and performed more than 75 miracles, leading to her being worshipped while she was still alive. Her temple in Deshnuk is a beautiful piece of architecture, drawing a steady stream of devotees for the darshan and blessings of the Mata. But there is a horde of visitors who come all the way to Deshnuk, essentially to get a glimpse of the swarms of rodents who inhabit the temple premises. These rodents are not intruders. They are privileged inhabitants who are pampered by the retinue of temple caretakers and devotees alike. The temple walls have been specially drilled to create tunnels to enable the rats to retire for an afternoon nap or a night-long snooze. Huge dishes with water, milk and sweetmeats are placed in the temple courtyard so that these privileged inhabitants can have a bellyful as and when they desire. Devotees usually bring sweets to offer to the deity Mata. These are placed in a big dish at the Mata's feet. After the bhog or offering to the Mata, it is customary to distribute the sweets to the devotees. The practice, however, differs here in Deshnok. The sweets are offered first to the rats, and after they have tasted the sweets, they are taken by the devout worshippers. Legend has it that these rats are the souls of future saints. Actually, it is said to have all begun 5 centuries ago, when earthly Karni Mata lived here. Her 14 sons, it is said, would go every day to bathe in the waters of Kapil Muni's pond. One day, the youngest son drowned in the waters. A distraught Mata Karni brought him back to life, but decided that from then on, her sons and their offsprings to come would always live under her protection. Ever since, it is believed her descendants are reborn as rats and live in the hallowed precincts of a temple. They die only to be reborn as saints. Thus the cycle carries on. The temple stands as a living testimony to that incredible mother, and the legend lives on.
Music is said to be the speech of angels. Nothing among the utterances of man is felt to be quite as divine. In the worship of God, this music acquires a sublime air with a lofty, pure quality. Music rendered by the human voice is unmatched by music created by any musical instrument. This is what makes the chantings of the Baha'i faith so special. It is only the human voice that sings out alone, accompanied occasionally by a chorus of other musical voices.
Pristine pure temple, crystal clear notes. The Baha'i religion is simple and pure. There is no clergy, no ritual. Naturally, music occupies a very important place in Baha'i worship. The eclectic nature of this faith is reflected in its music. The Baha'is emphasize direct communion with God. It is an outpouring of love and devotion. It is done through chanting and singing with no intermediaries. No musical instrument intervenes. There is no orchestra. Only human voices singing from within deep, devout hearts. The music is elevating and all-embracing. Since sacred prophets and figures from all religions are recognized by the Baha'i faith, Krishna, Buddha, Jesus and Muhammad, worshippers are free to compose their own devotional songs using any images, meter and language they wish. Musical offerings at Baha'i gatherings are diverse and simple. Devotion running through as an irresistible current, pure, pristine. The music demonstrating the power of the manifestation of God to create good from evil. Joy from despair. The ennobling strains of the music echo clearly as if bringing forth light from darkness.
The endowments which distinguish the human race from other forms of life are often described as the human spirit. This has enabled mankind to prosper materially. But the human spirit remains often dissatisfied. It inclined towards an invisible realm, the ultimate reality it's called, the usually elusive essence of essences, called God. A succession of spiritual teachers have propounded religions that have served as the primary link between humanity and the ultimate truth. One such great spiritual master was Gautam Buddha, whose teachings have refined mankind's capacity to achieve spiritual insights and fulfillment.
In many moons comes a teacher of man whose teachings profoundly transform the very essence of existence. 2,500 moons ago, One such teacher, Gautam Buddha, the enlightened one, questioned the suffering of man. His answers have left an indelible imprint on spiritual thought. Born as Prince Siddhartha, the only son of the Sakya ruler, Buddha was the cherished heir and prince of Kapilavastu. He spent his childhood and youth in the lap of riches and luxury. In the happy haze of sport, revelry, and other such royal pastimes, a chain of encounters took place that burst Siddhartha's bubble of happiness. A chance sighting of a beggar, an old infirm man, and a dead man threw the young prince into confusion. He began to question the impermanence of material joys that surrounded him. Rejecting his material world, he set out of the palace gates, wandering, searching for answers to one question: what was the cause of human suffering?
I think now the big ones have come.
Meditating under this tree, now called Bodhi tree in Gaya, the truth came to him. Siddhartha was enlightened. He was now the Buddha. The cause of human suffering was rooted in samsara, or attachment to the material world. Loss of the material caused mental agony and suffering. In quest of our desired lost material world, we seek rebirth, only to suffer once again. Salvation, Buddha preached, lay in renouncing the materialistic. For Buddha, the compassionate one, this enlightenment was not to be selfishly cornered for oneself, but to be shared with all. He set out for Sarnath, where in the nearby forests wandered his erstwhile co-travelers, living and meditating. He shared his knowledge with them. This was his first sermon as the Buddha. He talked of the Four Noble Truths, or root of suffering, and prescribed the Eightfold Path, or the middle path of avoiding a life of extreme asceticism or extreme worldliness to end suffering and attain nirvana, or the state of no rebirth. Buddha and his companions roamed in and around Vaishali. They ate the food for which they had humbly begged. They shared their teachings, sometimes even preaching to people in return for food. His monks and followers grew in numbers. They lived together, and thus the first monastery was established. In Shravasti, Buddha spent 25 years of his life living amongst the mango groves. The Buddha is believed to have performed many miracles here. 500 blind men are said to have regained their sight after the Buddha preached to them. Nearby were the viharas, where the women monks lived. The first woman monk initiated into his fold was his own stepmother. Buddha's quest for knowledge did not end. In Rajgir at Vulture Peak, he turned the second wheel of Dharma. These were more esoteric teachings and restricted to a small select group. They dealt with the training and transformation of mind. In his 79th year, sensing the end was near, Buddha made his final journey to Kushinagar. He emphasized to his followers that he was not important, but the logic and reason behind his teachings was. After the final sermon, he went into a deep, meditative calm, from which he slipped away into nirvana. He was consigned to flames, and his mortal remains were divided amongst his followers, who had monasteries raised on them. The Buddha passed away, but his teachings live on. The path to nirvana shown by the Buddha, left for mankind to follow forever.
We wind up this episode after a trip through some of the finest creations of man. If sheer physical beauty held our senses spellbound, their purity and symbolism touched our souls. The core of all these grand edifices is faith, which lends them a meaning most special and profound. Faith transforms, showing us a glimpse of the divine. Let us keep that faith. Thank you for being with us. Until next week, goodbye from all of us.